Welcome to Konkon's Cantina. Grab a drink, sit back, and relax.
Yummy.
So good.
Guys, we did it. We did it.
We did?
Yep, 2021.
Oh,
All of our problems are
man.
over.
Oh, you know, that is how it works.
Virus is gone.
Of course.
We've all been issued our stimulus.
Yes.
They issued us an extra $600.
Well, did you get yours
No,
yet?
I haven't.
So
So
I
important.
woke up and I was like, I get text messages every day from Bank of America, like with my balance.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's not the amount of money that I had. You know?
There's like 2 lightsabers in my bank account.
I was like, I can spend a lot of money with Kill Key Factory right now. And I was like, what is this? I was like, oh yeah, they did talk about giving us some chump change.
yeah.
I was like, wow, this covers half of my mortgage, and that's it, you know. But anyway,
Virus is all gone.
I
We did it,
know.
guys.
We
Good
did it.
job.
We made it.
I'm glad you guys did such an awesome job keeping your masks on.
yes, except Gina Carano.
No.
We can talk about that now, right? I mean, Mandalorian's over, so. What is up, everybody? It is your boy. It's Konkon.
Oh, your
back
voice got serious.
at it.
So
again.
bassy.
Listen,
know.
sometimes you gotta bring in that extra tone to. Nope, it's already gone. Messed it up. Sitting across from me, as always, the PR man himself, the man of 1,000 names.
Jay Breezy. I'm here
He's here.
drinking
And
a
you
delicious
haven't
iced
said it
coffee. I'm not going to say it.
What?
2021. I can't say that. 2020 theme.
yet. Okay.
Oh
We
my
back.
God.
There we go.
Thank you. God.
And the returning guest, the Cantina Splicer himself.
Casual kid, a.k.a. Jordan.
Guys, what's more important is look at this amazing shirt I got from Five Below.
Shout out to Five Below shirt game.
Dude,
Right there.
this Clone Wars shirt, we
So
got
nice.
everybody. We got Wolf, we got the regular Phase 2, we got the Coruscant Temple Guard, we got Rex, we got Jesse, freaking, we got 501st,
Cody.
Cody on
Cody
there.
down there.
Cody's dead. Oh, Cody betrayed our boy.
Shot him in the goddamn back.
Guys, thank you for joining us this week. You know we got to get into some housekeeping, okay? Konkon's Cantina at all social media. YouTube, Facebook group, Instagram, where we are most active. If you would like to work with us and this podcast, please email us at konkonscantina@gmail.com.
Instagram is actually where Hourglass Brewing got a hold of us to reach out to have us review that beer last week.
Oh,
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
however it works, if you want to get a hold of us, you can find us.
Drank that fast.
My God, it was so
And we
good.
need more.
Yeah, I need to swing by there and get another 4-pack.
Yeah.
That first 4-pack went quick.
It did. We need more of that. And don't forget your can. You need your sticker.
Oh, yeah, I need to peel my label
You
off
got to
and get
peel
the
your
sticker.
label. Discord. The way that you are going to be able to join the Discord is on our social medias. You will find the link tree link. That is where you will find the invitation to Discord. Simply click it, and we will welcome you with open arms.
If you prove your worthiness.
You must pass. Who is our Discord troll? Matt.
Yeah.
You must pass
Yeah.
Matt. Yeah, Matt's the Discord troll. Of course, how you can support this podcast. We are word of mouth, so liking, sharing, that is how we are discovered most, is via word of mouth. Show this podcast to your friends. Obviously, Star Wars first and foremost, but we are covering other pop culture events, which we will be getting into later this episode. And if you would like to support us on a further note,
Dancing with the Stars is what we're covering.
actually, yeah. Well, they invited me as a famous podcasting host.
Yes.
And I just told them, twinkle toes, I couldn't do it. I was really worried about my bad ankle
I was looking
in the
forward to your
heels.
salsa. I've heard that would be
You also have dancer's
Solid
hips, so
salsa.
you need to watch
Dancer's
out for
hips.
that.
I do, yeah.
dancer's
And we're gonna get into that too, because I just bought How I Met Your Mother, because that's a How I Met Your Mother reference. We do have Patreon. We have tiers starting at $3, and that is support, guys. It does take money. We like to put out a good product, but you do get some stuff with it. We do have Patreon exclusive content. Actually, next week.
Yes,
it is next week.
our first the 16th, I think, is the date
16th.
we're
Yeah.
recording.
We're getting together,
first,
yeah.
Our first Patreon exclusive episode. It is going to be amazing. It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be a long episode.
I think what we'll probably we'll break it into 2 parts.
We might have
it'll be
to.
released
Yeah.
at the same time, but broken into a part 1 and part 2 because the movie that we're doing is an extended edition of a movie, and it's extremely long,
long.
4+ hours. So it's probably going to be broken in half.
And we're
too.
gonna have to take pee breaks,
Yeah.
literally.
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna have to
I'm
happen.
gonna take a deuce break.
Yeah. Rate this podcast, please, guys. 5 stars, of course, is what we seek. And that's standard, okay? The reason for that is rating at 5 stars helps with the algorithm on all podcasting platforms. Says, hey, you like this podcast, check these guys out. The agenda of this episode is we'll be doing our introduction to Cantina of Heroes. As we were talking about, we will be covering some of the new Marvel shows that are coming out because there are a ton, and we would be remiss to not cover them. We won't be covering them in the same style, but we're going to get into that later.
Yeah.
We'll also be talking about High Republic, some Star Wars that
First
just
content
came out.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Yesterday for us. We're recording on Wednesday. It's been out a day.
Yep. And we're going to be doing some first impressions. We're also going to reiterate the breakdown and spoiler
Future
free
upcoming stuff. Yeah.
of what they're releasing. But before we and then ending the episode.
We're back. We are back.
We're back. We need to get the compilation of this going.
I'm gonna do that when I get some time off.
Jordan has an embarrassing story for us.
Yes, I
so
do.
we're going to be bringing that.
Suka.
Love it.
Still got it.
Listen, we are a Cantina podcast. So we're going to go into the Cantina right now.
Welcome to Konkon's Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
This week, I've been on a huge iced coffee kick.
Yes.
So,
Got me hooked this afternoon.
dude, the thing is like, okay, so when you go and you get coffee, do you get it, like you go to Starbucks, you go to Dunkin' Donuts, do you tend to go hot or ice?
Morning, I typically go hot. Daytime, I don't get hot unless it's a cold day. If it's a cold day, I'll get hot. But
Yeah.
we live in Florida; those are few and far between.
I
don't typically get coffee in the afternoon.
I
but
do.
this might switch this. This has got me hooked.
Well, see, we drink a lot of energy drinks, and we both need to get the heck off of that.
Yeah.
So, my
My
grandparents...
heart is literally the size of a grapefruit.
My grandparents growing up, they always had coffee in the afternoon. That might have been a generational thing with them. But they would make coffee in the morning, then they would make an afternoon pot, and then sometimes even before dinner and supper, my grandpa, they would make another pot. So coffee was almost throughout the whole day. So I had a time during my work when I would bring a thermos. I had the Stanley thermos, and I would drink coffee. Anyway, the
classic
point.
old man thermos, big tall green
Yes.
tin thermos.
Love those.
The point is I've been brewing pot of coffee and then putting it in mason jars and putting it, and I'm going to put that down before I drop it on our board. Putting it in the fridge, and then, that way it's cold, so when I cut it with ice, I'm not getting all this icy coffee stuff.
Yeah.
Super on the ice coffee lately. But what I am drinking alcoholically for this podcast tonight is I am drinking Willet Rye.
Man, I was looking for a bottle of Willet today.
Man.
Willet
Two places
Rye.
and couldn't find any.
It's actually not one of my favorites. It's a very distinct rye flavor. I feel like some people like rye and then some people don't. This is a higher score for me because, one, it is a very good flavor, and two, the rarity, the score just has to be bumped
Yeah.
up. Like, even if you explained it to the Dodo Mandos down in the covert and you were like, look, this is as rare as Beskar, okay? You can't just get it.
And the bottle itself is one of the best looking
Oh yeah.
physical
Oh,
pieces
yeah.
of glass, like the bottle,
Not
not the
the-
label,
not the-
it.
It's not that one.
It's not that one in the rye.
No, the rye is a regular shaped bottle.
Oh, I thought they were both the same.
lame.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have the cool. It's the medieval crest style. I'll go grab it once I'm
Okay.
done explaining it. You move on. I'll grab it
Yeah.
for you real quick. But this is a 7 out of 10 for me. Super hard to find.
What's the price point?
Price point. Well, retail is supposed to be under 50. Bourbon has been on the rise, so I'd say
Yeah.
65. I wouldn't pay more than 65 for it because I think there's other things on that price point you can get that are better. But Willet Rye, if you ever find it and it's 65 or lower, jump on it. If you're in a place where bourbon is just extremely high, don't skip on it. I mean, don't spend $100, but if you like rye, it's definitely something to try. So 7
It's
out
got a
of 10.
nice color too.
Yeah.
It's a nice toffee color.
Tell us what you're drinking. I'm gonna go get that thing so you can see it real quick.
Yep.
I am drinking a Japanese whiskey.
yeah.
I've been wanting to start to get into these, but I mean, one of the distilleries that you probably know the most is what I got, which is Suntory.
Yeah.
They're very good, everyone I've had, but it's also one of those things when I see them on the shelf, I don't buy them enough to know
Yeah.
what's going to be good and what's not going to be good.
Yeah. No, I can understand that.
So when I was I was actually looking for a bottle of the regular Willet, and I couldn't find it, and I found this at a Winn-Dixie liquor store, which is normally a nice little honey hole. Winn-Dixie liquor stores are not as picked
Yeah.
over as...
Let's get this in the shop.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the Suntory. This is the Toki specifically.
Yeah.
I've had the Hibiki also, which is a step up from this.
There
But
you go.
what's cool is a lot of Japanese whiskeys are not actually Japanese whiskeys. They're imported from other countries and aged in Japan.
Yep.
Everything from Suntory is actually aged, distilled, and everything in Japan. So this is a legitimate Japanese whiskey.
He's showing off the Willet right now, the regular bottle.
See, what he's holding right in the camera right now is the bottle I was talking about, the
Yeah.
standard Willet bottle, which is one of my
Fantastic
favorite.
bottle.
Once it's gone, you turn that into a decanter. Whoa, that was close.
And then this is the Willet Rye. And that's
Focus.
yeah, block my face, please.
Well, yeah, the Willet Rye is not
There
as
you
interesting
go.
of a looking bottle as the regular
No,
Willet.
but that crest is really cool. It makes it very distinct.
But back to my Japanese whiskey.
The more important thing.
The color of it looks like color of a Scotch. It's very blonde. It's
Yeah.
very light. This I got. It's normally $35 to $40. Winn-Dixie right now had this on sale for $10 off, and so it was 25. No, it was 30, and then they had if you buy two, they were 25 a piece.
Okay.
So I bought $25 for this bottle.
That's great.
It's a great deal. It's great tasting. It's very flavorful. I like it better with a piece of ice in it. I normally drink bourbons straight. Scotches, I can go either way.
Do you know the story behind Santori whiskeys and how it came about?
No, tell me.
So Santori whiskeys, my sister-in-law is from Japan, and she and my brother had to tell me the story. They basically, the guy who owns the company went over to Scotland, had some scotch, really loved it. He decided to bring it back to Japan, and he tried to make a recipe that's basically scotch. Unfortunately, the flavor is too powerful for people in Japan. They thought it was too harsh. So he tried to find a way.
The peatiness of it.
So he tried to find a way to create a whiskey that people in Japan would enjoy, and that's how he came up with.
It's
Santori.
almost a sake color too.
Yeah,
Like you said, blonde.
Very
It's
light.
really
Yeah.
light.
yeah, great whiskey.
It is really a pea color for lack of a better. But
Yeah, no,
it
that's
is
a
really
good,
it
it's
is
not
good.
the most appetizing, but that's a good description of
Yeah.
the color. If you're an audio listener, it's a urine.
What's
It looks
the,
like a bottle of urine, which I'm gonna fill back up when I'm done and play a joke on somebody.
What's the man?
I got something for you to try.
I can't do it fast enough.
Yeah.
Sucking back on some of Grandpa's cough syrup.
Mando score?
I give this a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna flavor wise, it's delicious, but it's only is it 86 proof on there? If you look at that,
I do not know.
it is 86 proof.
Nice.
So it's very smooth. 86 proof. Like I think anybody could drink this and enjoy it, but I personally tend to go for higher proof stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start looking for more Japanese whiskeys. I want to see if they have like a barrel proof Japanese whiskey
Yeah.
or something like that. So
Yeah.
I can try that.
There's a couple out there. Toki is the one to go for, though. That is a really good
Yeah,
one.
the Hibiki is what I've had before, and that's around $70 a bottle.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, that's rough.
Jordan, what are you drinking?
I am drinking from Cigar City Brewing. It's one of their seasonal beers. It's the Fancy Papers Hazy IPA.
Good.
I thought that was
choice.
Florida Cracker.
No.
it's the same color scheme,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
same color scheme.
Yeah. I don't know if you can. You can
Focus.
There it is.
There
Yes,
you go.
good, good.
Fancy Papers. This, unfortunately, is a seasonal beer. And shout out to my wife for giving
Winter?
me the last one.
Is this winter or is this a fall leftover? Or where's this?
I don't know where this falls. I feel like it is a winter beer.
Falls.
Nah. Nah. I don't. I think it falls into winter. because I went to go look for this like a week after I bought it, could not find it anywhere. It was sold out completely. But
Man,
yeah,
it sounds like it fell short.
You're falling.
do
all
you
over
want the
yourself
rest of my
now, aren't
review?
you?
So 6.5.
Drop that review like it's hot.
No. So yeah, it's a really good IPA. It's very smooth. It has that distinct hazy IPA flavor. But for people who don't like IPAs, I do recommend trying it. If you can get your hands on it, because it's really smooth. It's not overpowering. I think the IBU on this is 45. So
That's nice. That's not like a very tart or like that's a good IBU range.
Exactly. So, and it has that, just has a really, really good flavor.
I do love me some hazy IPAs.
I'm going to stay consistent with you guys. This is a 7 out of 10 for Mandos. There are some
Did you
Mandos.
give a 7 too?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
7, 7, 7.
All sevens.
All sevens.
Jackpot.
Bungie's really happy right now. They're really happy with us for going with the 7 theme.
Nice.
Yes.
This episode is going to be a banger. We just
The
struck
I didn't
jackpot.
say too the Willet Rye. It's 109 proof,
Oh,
Okay.
so it's definitely
get you
not.
where you
Yeah, it's up there.
that's bang worthy buck.
Bang worthy buck.
Bang-worthy buck,
I'm gonna
guys.
drink now.
The Cantina of Heroes. Now, the reason why we want to talk about this once again is we have a ton of Marvel stuff that's coming out, and we're going to get into all those shows that are coming out. So let me just get through this introduction, and then we're going to spitball some of this information out. So obviously, we are a Star Wars forward podcast. Now, however, we would once again be remiss if we did not cover Marvel. We do cover other pop culture things. Obviously, new Star Wars isn't always coming out. We are lucky right now that we are getting new Star Wars on top of Mandalorian, but it's in written media, which it doesn't have a huge following, and I would say that 70% of the fandom does not get involved with, if not more, if not higher. So with that being said, we will be visiting these new Marvel shows in a special segment format. We will be covering this and putting these at the end of our episodes. That way Star Wars is still up front. We will be time-stamping these. That way it's not taking the spotlight over Star Wars.
And right now, that is our game plan as of now. That doesn't mean if we get an influx of people saying that this is their favorite part that we're covering currently, that we might push it to the front of the show because people want to hear it.
Yeah.
So we're looking for feedback. So like right now, right off the bat, if you have ideas, if once we're going, if you say that the Cantina of Heroes and covering the Marvel stuff is your favorite thing you want to hear and push it to the front of the show, or you could take it or leave it.
The other thing we can do too, and I'm just now thinking of this, is we don't put a time limit on it, right? Like, so if we do it towards the end, like the episode goes long, but then when we do it on YouTube, we could segment it. Like we could make a whole playlist of just Cantina of Heroes. That's just an idea.
Yeah.
And the other thing we should get into is we're not covering it in the same way as we were Mandalorian, because that forced us to record on Fridays, which having families and lives doesn't go too well when every Friday you can't do anything.
Yeah. And
so we're going to be technically a week behind. So if it's releasing on Fridays, the new episodes, we're going to record
Wednesday.
the next week. We're normally Wednesday's the day we shoot for.
Wednesday, Monday, Friday. Those are the days that we do mostly.
So you'll basically be getting the episode, and there will have already been probably a new episode that's dropped since that one that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But it's going to allow us to have lives outside of recording.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, once again, the Star Wars stuff, we would put that kind of stuff on hold. We'd put that to the forefront. So like you said,
it goes Star Wars, then family.
Exactly. Then Marvel. Yeah, exactly. WandaVision comes out January 15th, which is a Friday on 2021 this year. We will not be covering this in recap style either.
Not the scene by scene.
Not
recap.
the scene by scene recap. I know that they released the number of episodes for WandaVision. I don't know if they released time lengths of what they were going to be.
I didn't see that.
Excuse me, but we will be doing this as a round table open forum discussion, probably more of like not scene by scene, but we will be giving like, this is what happened in the episode.
Did we do Bad Batch scene by scene? I can't remember.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
It's
do a
just they
scene by
were
scene?
so short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The episodes were. The episodes were 18 minutes apiece. Which I don't. And that's the other thing.
And
we
I say
still
Bad
haven't.
Batch, but I mean Clone Wars.
Clone
season
Wars.
seven.
Yeah. We know what you meant.
we have Bad Batch coming up too.
Yeah.
And this is a predicament that we will be in is
We could have 2 shows simultaneously airing, but
And
Bad
we
Batch we know
literally-
is 20-something minute episodes, so that will be...
should be, yeah.
Yeah.
And we had the idea of literally lots of full podcast networks, whatever you want to call it. They will literally create a new podcast for a new show per
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
That way they segment everything. What comes with that is you have to pay another hosting site because you're only allowed to upload so many minutes per month. We pay SoundCloud right now for our hosting. Anyway, it was just a whole thing. So we'll be covering it at the end. These episodes will be coming out Friday weekly, as Justin said. However, we will be recording mostly on Mondays and Wednesdays. Therefore, we will be 1 week behind. So brief coverage of the episodes will be coming. So the very first one, once again, is WandaVision, which is January 15th.
We might do a bigger something for the first episode because that's going to be the first Marvel Disney Plus show that we've ever gotten.
Hopefully the first episode doesn't let us down then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have like next to no idea
Yeah,
of what to expect.
This does seem like, from what I've seen of it, it seems the least, air quotes, Marvel.
It's the one that I'm
Product.
least excited about
It's-
already.
But it could be quirky and weird, and it could be doing something new that they've done before. So I don't really know where to go with
And
it.
I don't think the trailers show specifically everything that actually is happening in the show. They just show random scenes.
It could
that
be
thrown
like
together.
Mando. That trailer for season 2 that was only
Could be
four
all- yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Could be the first couple episodes of, and that's where all the footage is from.
Right. They could be doing the same thing. You know,
Very Leave It to Beaverish looking.
well, no, they're cutting different sitcoms and things over the years
Yeah.
and putting her and Vision in it. So
Yeah.
you know,
Excited.
I think it's going to be really good. It's just we don't have enough information on it to get hyped about it. So I think once the first episode drops, like you said, hopefully it's a really good one and there's a nice hook at the end to keep us going.
Yeah. A Baby Yoda Marvel style moment where like
baby
jaw
Thanos.
jaw drop.
I'm honestly hoping that like it ends up becoming like this psychological thriller thing because, you know, Vision's dead. What is this about? What's going on?
Yeah, it does seem like this could be the more cerebral Marvel show that we'll get because typically everything we've gotten with the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been punch, punch, pow, pow, explosion in your face.
Very straightforward.
Not very deep. And this show could be quirky, cerebral, like weird, funky show that could make you think, which
I'd be
could
down
be
with
cool.
that. I'd be very down with that for sure.
I just adjusted you.
Oh.
I turned your mid up. There's something missing. But listen to you. You just
That sounds so sultry right now.
yeah, you do.
So good.
No, I mean, now that you guys are explaining it this way, that's and I didn't think of the possibility of like we're not seeing everything in a trailer, so that there could be a lot more.
That's a good idea. The way that you brought that out,
Yeah.
that's all they showed in The Mandalorian. That was the first
4
few
episodes.
and
And-
that's where every every trailer, every teaser.
Treasers. It's treasers from now on, just like scissor reels. The next show is going to be The Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
this is
which
the
comes
one I
out in March.
This is what I want. Give it to me.
I mean, how much time do we want to spend on this?
Civil
War, yeah.
Well, I should say
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier
Winter
is my
Soldier.
favorite movie.
God, it's
and
so
then
good.
Civil War.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this show.
While I was on call this past weekend, I like to take Disney Plus and Netflix, and I will start a show because you can black screen it,
Right.
and you can still have the audio
Oh,
playing
yeah.
in your ear.
Listen to it.
Love that.
And I was listening to Binge Mode's coverage of Marvel, so after I finished their Winter Soldier episode, I had to refresh myself, and I started listening to the episode, and then when I got home one of those nights, I finished watching it, and that movie's just, it's so cool. So
Yeah,
I'm super
it's
excited, because
my
Falcon
bet-
was never one of my...
Winter Soldier, the movie, is like a born Marvel movie, is
Yeah.
what it makes me think of.
Oh yeah. And
yeah, like the Bourne series.
Yeah, like Jason
Gotcha.
Bourne.
Yeah.
And yeah, give me more Bucky, give me more Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Their chemistry together, especially in Civil War, was fantastic.
We haven't even really delved into how his oh my god, what's the Wakanda metal? Why am I drawing a complete
Vibranium?
I wanted to say adamantium, but it's vibranium. His new oh my god, now I'm saying them back and forth. His new vibranium arm that we get at the end of, I guess that was in
Infinity War.
Infinity War that he gets it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the
we
White
don't
Wolf.
really like. I wonder like what powers, like we haven't gotten an in-depth view of if that gave him new abilities or strengths that he can even use.
Yeah.
The next one that I'm personally most excited about, I think this one looked the most interesting via the trailers that we got, is Loki.
It also looks
in May.
quirky.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Owen
Time-
Wilson.
Dude.
Owen, I'm so
cool.
excited.
Old man Owen Wilson
I'm
in that
so
elevator
excited.
scene. I was like,
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You had to take a double take when you saw him. You're like, wait, what?
I hope he's.
But then you heard that voice. You're like, oh,
he's
wow.
transitioning
Oh,
into
wow.
cool old guy.
yeah,
I'm
and-
fine with that.
I
dude.
know, me too. And I saw the character that he is in the comics,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, even though the hair color is different and whatnot, there's
You
something
can read
about
the
his,
personality. Like,
Yeah.
It's just he reminds me of just a guy that's in a cubicle. You
Yeah.
know, and just off that elevator scene, he's the guy that's crunching the numbers. He's the Chandler being. He's
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
he's doing something like that. Anyway, I'm super excited about the
Yeah.
show, and I can't remember the name of the guy that plays Loki.
Tom Hiddleston.
yeah.
See, me and you can't remember names, and then he comes on, and dude, he is a beast.
Yeah. He's
the way
awesome.
he reads lines and delivers stuff.
Yeah.
And good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Like I think the show is going to be awesome. That's what I'm most excited for.
It's actually hilarious. Somebody made a compilation post showing screenshots from the trailer that we saw, and that match covers from the Loki comics.
Oh, that's cool.
And if I can find it, I'll get it there and we can post it somewhere.
Yeah, we
but,
should post that on
But man,
the
that
gram.
was seeing it, and even like Loki for president was one of them.
Yeah,
Man, that
yeah.
was so cool.
And it's cool too because we all thought that Loki was like really dead from Infinity War.
Right.
And then in Endgame, we get the Tesseract thing where we're constantly changing this idea of the timeline, Star Wars. And we are revisiting something new based on something that was changed in later movies, right?
Right.
So I'm super excited.
And
you
that's,
know.
I mean, Loki. This is all early 2021, right? I guess
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
May is.
Yeah, it's still
Dude, that's
May.
going to be here
It's-
before we know
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's literally going to be here before
But I
we
mean,
know
that's
it.
that's 3 shows before 2021 is halfway over. That's Marvel, not even including the Star Wars stuff. So it's going to be.
That's so freaking cool.
The next ones we're just going to go through
yeah,
because
these are far out, so we're not going to spend a ton
Yeah.
of time on these.
Well, we at least we don't have for sure dates, but at least we have years. The What If series, which I'm also excited about that. I love
Yes.
some animated stuff.
That's really
I am
cool.
excited about that. Summer 2021, so that could be what, May, June, July?
Yeah.
That's considered summer?
Maybe August. at
Is
the
oh,
latest.
August, August.
Yeah.
So May, June, July, August.
Second,
Yeah,
I'm assuming
somewhere there.
second half of 2021.
Yeah,
Yeah.
second half. Miss Marvel, late 2021.
Not excited.
Not excited. Maybe we see it and it's awesome.
Yeah.
The girl, I don't like her weird stretchy arms. That's not like, and stretchy powers has never
Yeah.
been interesting to me. Mr. Fantastic was okay, but
Yeah.
stretchy powers are kind
Bro,
of
you don't like Elastigirl?
Huh? I mean, that's a good movie, but it's not like,
I know why
that's
you
not
like
the,
Elastigirl.
that's not the guacamole.
Pixar.
That's not the power I would pick if I was getting superpowers. Is stretchy arms.
No, I'd have spaghetti come out of my fingertips.
Dang it, you took mine.
Then we have I feel like there are
Spaghetti from your fingertips.
Dane Cook, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's Dane Cook. What do you want to do? I want to fly. Yeah, who the wouldn't? And then he says, I would have spaghetti come out of me. Anyway, Hawkeye, late 2021.
I'm excited for this one.
Very excited.
Not even a little bit.
Really?
Hawkeye didn't get the love he needs in the movie. Like they made him
Yeah.
so doofusy. Like I can shoot an arrow, and that's
and I
it.
don't think the portrayal of him as Ronin in Endgame was good either.
No, I thought
No.
that
it
was
was
stupid.
really bad.
Yeah.
Compared to the comics, but
Even look at what CW did with Green Arrow.
Green Arrow is
Yeah.
way cooler.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, we need that type of cool factor.
Why are we not getting the Hawkeye Ant-Man team up?
I mean, it could be building to that.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that there's a new Ant-Man movie on the slate to come out.
Ant-Man 4?
3. There's only been 2.
Oh,
There's
yeah, you're right,
Ant-Man
you're
and
right,
Wasp
right.
was the second one.
We don't need a third one. I'm sorry. We don't.
He's not
feel
my
like I've
favorite
heard this
hero,
before.
but
No.
if they did like an Ant-Man and Hawkeye together,
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah.
interesting.
I think we need to start fusing some of these things because we don't need... See, I don't need like a whole Falcon movie.
Ant-Man seems like it should have been the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
But yeah, Hawkeye, I'm super excited for. The comic books that were the standalone Hawkeye are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just him living in his apartment outside of his stuff with the Avengers, and it is so fun.
I think there's a fascination about people that don't have powers that are superheroes that I literally have an abhorrence for, because it's like I'm sorry, like it's not a superhero.
Well, he has super abilities that just, he doesn't just make stuff go boom. That's the problem.
I remember, like, one of my favorite things.
But does he have? He does not have powers.
It hasn't been explained, at least.
No,
in the
he just
in
doesn't.
the
He just
cinematic
doesn't
universe.
miss.
One of my favorite things growing up as a kid was getting into the arguments with my friends of like this hero versus that hero, and like Green Arrow versus Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Like that type of stuff was some of my favorite, especially when they matched up so identical.
Yeah.
That
Flash
was
versus Quicksilver and all that
like,
stuff. Yeah,
that was like some of the funnest stuff. Batman versus Moon Knight. Like, it's awesome.
Oh, dude, somebody. Who is the? Somebody brought out in Wonder Woman 84 that them going to Egypt was not on purpose.
As Black Adam. Yeah.
That's Black Adam.
No, it was a different. Yes, Black Adam, because we talked about that already. But it was something else. There's another Batman-esque DC person. I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna move past that.
Yeah.
Armor Wars to be announced. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special that is being
Next
filmed at the
Christmas.
same time as
the movie. Yeah.
Guardians 3. The I Am Groot animated show, which will be a kids show, to be announced. Ironheart to be announced. MODOK to be announced.
Favorite people, MODOK.
Moon Knight. I'm excited for Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Moon Knight.
Kit
You
Harington.
can't say that you don't like people with no powers. Then
It's Kit Harington. That's why I'm excited.
Okay.
And wait. I thought Moon Knight did end up getting powers.
He has multiple personalities.
yeah, he's like Psycho.
Yeah.
What's that movie? Where the guy has the multiple personalities.
Split.
Split.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like that?
Yeah, he's the same hero. It's just he has different personalities that put him into different costumes.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of each hero has their own personality and their own way of going about things.
Okay.
And then Secret Invasion, which is one of my favorite Marvel comic stories. I'm disappointed that this isn't going to be a
Full length.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is why I'm not excited. Secret Invasion, yes. Skrulls, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Cinematic has already done Skrulls wrong. They're the bad guys. Like the Marvel movie.
What movie was that?
Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain
Yeah,
Marvel.
They
that's right.
completely jacked Skrulls up
I
already.
always
That was
forget
so
the
weird.
entire premise of
like
that movie.
how are we gonna go from they're like refugees, like kind of like almost a touch on like real world political things that we're dealing with now with refugees to Super Skrull, who's like one of the best Marvel villains
My
ever.
God, he's
Like,
so
how are
good.
we gonna go from these hopeless, defenseless alien creatures
Yeah, we
to
can't-
super like it? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's a hard sell now for me.
And
Yeah.
this is going to be like a kid show, right? This Secret Invasion show.
That I don't know, but do you know that there's a scroll at the end of the hallway at the end of the last Spider-Man movie when Peter is crying over Iron Man?
Yes, I do remember seeing that.
One of the
didn't see
person,
that.
yeah, there's a scroll standing there. So it's like the
Missed it.
invasion's already started and they're planted throughout the Marvel movies already.
Okay.
She-Hulk.
Okay.
She-Hulk I'm excited for because of the return of Abomination. The
The
tie-in.
OG
Yeah.
Abomination from
Oh, that's so
'Cause that's the
cool.
best Hulk
Edward,
movie.
The
Yeah.
Edward Norton Hulk
Yep.
movie is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. And I think that could lead to She-Hulk could lead to a Red Hulk storyline because now we're getting She-Hulk. We
Red
could get
Hulk
Red
is
Hulk.
so
A
good.
Red Hulk and a Gray Hulk too.
Red Hulk is like one of my favorite Marvel things ever. So, and then last is Silk, which I don't remember what Silk
She was
even
like
is.
a girl spider.
Yeah.
Boring.
It's
Yawn.
part of the she's part of the Spider-Verse comic book series. She
Oh,
plays
okay.
she plays a
Black and
pivotal
white
role.
outfit.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Man, I
Yeah.
feel like I should know that. I feel like I know pretty much. Is that newer? Because she's not in any of my Spider-Man
I would say
stuff.
2010?
Okay, that's why. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. High Republic. We are finally at the Star Wars talk. Now, let's give a recap really quick, Justin. Me and you started reading Light of the Jedi, which is the newest book. We're participating in this book via Audible.
Just
Audible, please sponsor this episode. I know you were emailing us, and, let's give our listeners a discount code.
the
Anyway.
best way for
Make
us
it happen.
to partake of written media while we're at work.
Yeah, no, for sure. So Star Wars: The High Republic is broken down into 3 phases. Justin, let's go through those phases real quick.
So this is something that I actually didn't know until
I didn't either.
I was kind of doing some research. Is it's like you said, it's kind of the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, where they have these 3 phases.
John
and arcs.
Favreau's putting stuff
That's
in
going
things.
to take place over years. This isn't like a
6.
3 phases. Well, they said possibly 6.
Okay, so 12.
So there's 3 phases. Light of the Jedi, which has just launched January 5th, Tuesday, was the first pieces of media of this new High Republic era that has dropped. The second phase after that is going to be Quest of the Jedi, and then the third phase will be Trials of the Jedi. So of this first phase, as of today, we have 2 books out, or 3 books out. One of them is an adult, like full-blown novel.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are more geared towards younger readers.
Like what you would call a chapter book as opposed to a novel.
Yeah, like young adult It's not even young adult because it's more like
YA is a different connotation.
Yeah.
Not YA. It's just it's not a novel. It's a
it's
a
like
chapter book.
elementary school, middle school geared reader.
Listen,
type
guys,
of a
add
book.
it to the curriculum. Okay, this is all we're asking because it wasn't on my curriculum. I just read EU books because I didn't want to read the Scarlet Letter.
Nobody wanted to
Okay.
read that.
Planning this series, like we were saying, it has the possibility of lasting 6 years, which I know that me and you, Justin, I don't know about you, Jordan, but we're super excited about it because
And it says this first phase is going to be roughly 2 years on its own. So
own.
that's why they're guessing 6. If it's roughly 2 for the first, it's probably 2,
Yeah.
2, 2, somewhere around there.
Makes sense.
the reason why I'm excited about this predominantly is new Star Wars stories and no Skywalkers. I feel you take a lot of the argument and you well, this is never going to happen, but I think you take a big thing that separates Star Wars fandom when it comes to all
Very
the
divisive.
things.
Yeah.
And it always comes back to Rey is not a Skywalker. Luke
This
was
isn't-
horrible in The Last
yeah,
Jedi.
this isn't the Luke that we
Anakin
were
wasn't the
owed.
chosen
Yeah.
one. Now that we're finally away from the Skywalkers
And the EU, like all
Yeah.
of the EU thrown on top of it.
and we're not going to spoil it, but literally in the first 8 chapters of this book, we've already had a Jedi power from the EU be brought back into canon. So
Nice.
that was
they call it they don't call it the same thing. It's more of a nod.
it's well, and it could be the idea is the same.
Yeah.
The idea is the same. We'll just put it that way. They don't call it force healing in Force
Right,
but it's the same thing. Yeah. So the books,
So
Light of the Jedi.
that's the novel. That's the big
That's what we're doing
big
right now.
bad full on Nava. That's
Yeah.
written by
The
Charles by Charles Soule,
Yeah.
who before this was your Marvel comic book writer.
Yeah.
So this is his second attempt ever at a novel.
Next
We'll get
is
into that later.
Into the Dark. And then the third wrapping up this new trilogy is The Rising Storm. Now, I have Into the Dark pre-ordered, I know, but I'm sure I can pre-order The Rising Storm. I need to. But these books are coming out fast. Does Rising Storm come out in March? Because this one came out January 5th, The Light of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And then the next book comes out February.
The Dark will be the next one, which is I'm super excited for because it's written by Claudia Gray.
Yes,
who
Claudia
is-
Gray is my first.
Lost
She's
Stars.
my favorite, if not my second favorite.
That's February 2nd.
Timothy Zahn's my favorite. Claudia's second.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I rank her that high. Of new books, yes. If I'm including old stuff, then.
well, see, Matt Stone's one of my favorites, but he hasn't written anything newer.
Let's jump back to where we're talking
Yeah,
about.
sorry.
Where's our tangent?
Yep.
So Into the Dark, that's February 2nd by Claudia Gray. That's the second adult. I say adult novel. It sounds like it's dirty, but it's like non-child, non-young adult. Like this is like a full-blown novel. The third one is June 29th, and that's going to be The Rising Storm by Cavan Scott. And that's our. Those are the 3.
Those are 3 novels. Next,
There's a ton of other media though coming out.
we have the comic books and we have some graphic novels. So some of the comics that are coming out is Star Wars: The High Republic, which is going to be the Marvel comic of this version. This is where we got a lot of those pictures and a lot of the stuff that we've seen with that's set heavily on that Trandoshan Jedi that's already been introduced into this book. They gave his name. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And then we have the High Public Adventures, which seems to be the comic series that's geared towards younger people.
Yeah, that's the IDW series. It's not a Marvel series.
Yep.
So, Justin, spoiler free, we started this book yesterday. I am only 10 chapters in. How many chapters is the book? 50 something?
I don't know how many chapters are. I know it was over 10 hours.
It's 17 hours.
It was not 17. It was 10 and change.
13.
10 and change.
Do you listen on a speed?
I listen on regular.
You listen on just one? Mm-hmm. You're crazy. I listen on 1.3.
I got 5 hours left, so I'm about halfway. I'm about halfway through this book.
Okay.
You haven't read anything at all yet?
No,
Okay.
I haven't read anything yet. Haven't gotten into it. I'm working on the book club book Thrawn.
Yes.
So that's what I'm currently working on. But what have you enjoyed about it so far? Without giving anything away.
Things I have enjoyed. They have delved into, it's not even like super in depth, but they've just given you some cool little tidbits of knowledge that are things about Jedi that you never got before. So things about like inner workings of Jedi, like stuff about Jedi and their lightsaber hilts and reasons why they make changes and things. Like we've never gotten info like that. Canon, like we got old stuff in like the EU.
Yeah.
But we're getting like some cool little tidbits of like the Jedi Order, like why a Jedi might change its lightsaber hilt for some reason. Like stuff like that, inner working stuff is cool to see at its peak. What about you, Connor? Like what have you liked?
I feel like every time we get a new character, we get from an audio book perspective, we get Mark Thompson is reading this book, and Mark Thompson helps with these books immensely because of how he reads them. We get an introduction of the character, and we get very, very detailed descriptions of the species, like the color of the skin. When they're talking about a Twi'lek, they're talking about their Leku. They're talking about things that they've decorated their Leku with. When they're talking about the
species that we haven't seen, they spend a little bit more extra time like talking about like abilities that race has that we need to know, like so that we can follow what's going on.
They introduced something that I didn't know Twi'leks could do, which I won't spoil it, but that was one things that a Twi'lek could do that I didn't know that they could do. So that's like maybe an expanding canon.
Yeah,
I love the new ships too.
I wish we could, and we'll see them at some point. But yeah, I wish we'd see them now.
Yeah, we have. I mean, I think we've seen them. Like they released that concept art of all the ships of the High Republic, but at that time we had nothing to associate the name of a ship to what it was. So now we have the names of these new Jedi ships, and they're awesome. They're literally built to be controlled by only Jedi.
Yeah,
like it's.
Don't say why.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into why, but like. It's cool. Like they're at a point in time where things are like made for Jedi because the Jedi are so popular at this point.
Yeah, I mean they are the keepers of peace. This is the time where this is the golden age. This is the time that Obi-Wan talked about when he's explaining to, he didn't grow up in this time exactly because he was in his young teens during Phantom Menace. This is 200 years before, but no doubt being so close to those generations. That's a lot of what influenced the Jedi that we see mostly in the movies.
And a couple not far in, we get some quick references to Yoda. And he's still a master. He's still like literally amazing. That
we already know he's going to be in it because
we saw
the
that.
comic, not the comic, but conception art and all that stuff's already shown that Yoda's going to be in it.
Okay. So what would you say is something that might turn people off from the book that they need to power through?
Well, it is horribly boring.
The pacing of this book is
just so far from what you've read.
I'm halfway through the book.
Yeah,
I know, but
not good.
The pacing of the book is set in a way where it tells you the timeline exactly. It's like watching an episode of 24, and when you understand the amount of time that's happening, there's so much going on that you're kind of like, there's too much going on for the time that's happening.
Yeah.
It's like time is standing still for the characters, but not for you.
Yeah, the issue that I'm having with it, I'm halfway through. There's 0 main characters in this book. There's no main story. There's no main characters.
This is a vacuum.
Yeah.
That we're talking about this in.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you and I were talking about off mic before we recorded was like, this could just be a giant set piece to build this everything.
And that's important to think about.
So this might not be, this book could finish and it's not the most interesting book, but as you move forward, you're understanding the universe that you're in.
Yeah.
Which is very well possible. Right now, I'm 5.5 hours in. This is the most boring book I've read in probably 3 years.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well,
you're discouraging me.
I mean, there's things I'm picking out I like, but
and there's things that I've picked out so far, but the pacing in how each chapter starts is a turnoff for me. It kind of kills the mood as to
Okay.
Well,
what's happening.
we read the we got that first chapter like 6 months ago, like as a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember when we start that out, it literally starts out like 6 hours to impact or something.
Yeah, so I guess that's not a spoiler. So
like
Yeah.
we've talked about this. Like
and they released it, so there's a
we
big
read
collision.
and we went in depth into that first chapter. And some of my fears that we talked about in that first chapter about Charles Soule's first venture into a Star Wars novel
Yeah.
and his writing style, and he seemed to be like,
I feel like his writing style could lend more towards of like if you think Game of Thrones, like those books are so ginormous that they allot for that kind of detail.
yeah,
This book is like
Yeah.
like Game of Thrones on Audible. The very first one is 43 hours.
I say
Yeah.
right
It's a
before this,
43-hour
I just
book.
finished the latest Brandon Sanderson novel, and it was 48 hours long.
Yeah.
And he is one of the greatest world builders since J.R. Tolkien or R.R. Martin.
Or yeah.
Like he is amazing. But to do that, your book is 50 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book is a quarter of that, if
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could be great
We
later down the line when you look back, but right now, man, it's a hard listen unless the second half really ramps up.
So for the average reader, it sounds like maybe this isn't something that's going to grab them. Obviously,
I wouldn't even say reader. I would say if you're hungering for Star Wars material, then yeah, you need to read it.
yeah, that's what I was going to get to. But
Yeah.
for more of Star Wars fans, you probably wouldn't suggest this as something as a first-time reader of the Star Wars book series of any
No.
kind should read.
Not
No.
for your first venture
Okay.
into it.
No.
Okay.
And that's something we've talked about with Lost Stars is I feel like you don't even have to be a Star Wars fan to enjoy
Yeah.
Lost Stars. But this stuff you have to like me
Some-
and Justin are picking up on nuances because the level of fan that we are.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not gatekeeping. It's just I feel like we would have an appreciation for these details that we're picking up that other people, it might either go over their head or they might think, oh, that's stupid.
One of like there's some really cool stuff. Like, how can I say this without spoiling anything? There's a reference to a planet that, as we have always known it, and they reference this planet in passing in like a 3-word sentence, and the planet is entirely different.
Yeah.
And that was a jaw drop. I'm like, oh
And-
my god!
And we're leading to events that we might know why the planet is the way that it is now.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
because of these books. you know?
Possibly, yeah.
And that's the world building that we're looking for.
Right.
You know, it's like you get on topics and people are like, oh, that's stupid. That's a loophole. It's not explained. Yes, it is. It's explained in this book, in this chapter. You didn't read it, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's not meant to be condescending. It's just there's a lot of information that people tend to not take in, which is fine. Written media is not for everybody. Not everybody has a job like me and Justin where we can put in headphones
Yeah.
and consume that media
Right.
because it that 10 hours, 13 hours, that's a lot to sit down and listen and or read a book. I mean, that's a lot of time. So I mean, that wraps it up for me because that's
Yeah,
once again
I'm still
spoiler
gonna finish
free.
it. I'm still gonna read every single one that comes out because, like I said, there's nuggets hidden in this book. Even though it's not been the most exciting read, there's nuggets that are in it, and I really do feel this is going to be
Alkalite.
This is going to be a set piece. This is going to be world building, so you kind of understand. Because so much of the time is spent just like making you wrap your head around the universe, the way they're traveling versus what you've used to them traveling, the way the government is, the way the Jedi are viewed by the government as well as the people of the galactic universe of that time. Like it's so much time.
How they view the Republic.
They're kind of just
Yeah.
they're kind of reteaching you Star Wars in this book. Is the kind of the way that I could describe it. Like they're reteaching you Star Wars.
That's all canon. We have to relearn a lot of Star Wars because canon is being rewritten. You know,
Yeah.
every day it's being rewritten
yeah, like
at Lucasfilm.
you're not following one main character that's the protagonist through an arc, and there's a main antagonist that is the bad guy. It's all about groups of people.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tiny little things ping-ponging around back and forth, so that makes it hard to follow. But I think it will be, in the long term, a good base built
And Alkalite is based, the TV show, the Darksider show that we're getting, is based at the end of the High Republic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are going to be getting visual media that's based on this this timeline, like they said, 6-year plan, 4-year plan, 5-year plan, whatever it is. This is a multi-year plan. This
3
timeline
arcs,
is
yeah.
not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, this we could even be getting a trilogy based on this. Now that all this written, they're not going to put this much investment into these writing groups, these storyboard groups, the comics. It's not good. I don't think this is just going to be written. It's not. We already have confirmed that we have something visual media taking place
I
during
wouldn't
the
be
High
surprised
Republic.
the next movie that we see is a High Republic era movie by any
Maybe
means. I
that's
wouldn't be
maybe that's
surprised.
Taika's movie. We have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, it could be.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Like, I can't wait to see that world depicted.
Yeah.
Jedi in their full glory. They talk about, this isn't really a spoiler because we see Jedi with armor in Clone Wars, but they talk about how sometimes Jedi will wear armor.
Yeah.
They have fancy robes. They have work leathers, for lack of better terms. The Jedi that we've always known are brown robes.
Yep.
Like brown and beige, that's Jedi.
Boring.
So it's really cool. It's really cool to see like this like not frivolous, but like there's more like they're so
High-end?
well respected. They're like they're looked up positively, and like we get little things like I kind of mentioned this before, like that a Jedi will change its lightsaber and
Yeah.
it'll give you all the reasons why.
Right.
One of them was technology. Like
Yeah.
we never thought about that. Like advances in lightsaber technology.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I will say, like I said, I haven't read the books. Despite how boring you guys tell me it is, I'm probably still going to end up listening to it or reading it.
You know what I would do for this, honestly? If you don't have a ton of time, once this is out, this could be one that I would recommend a YouTube 15-minute recap.
Oh,
of.
yeah.
Yeah, and I would also say that I would not be prioritizing this book over, like, if you're getting into Star Wars written media, this is not the place to start.
No.
There's the Thrawn series, there's the Aftermath series, there's so many other things that are world building to the new canon that we have already.
Right.
This is exploring a new timeline. You're going to have plenty of time to catch
Right.
up. This is not where you start.
I'm just excited for a Star Wars timeline that isn't the prequels that goes further into Jedi lore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. So,
Hearing about the stuff that you were referenced.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now, it is time. Suka, 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 Suka.
We don't even like need to look at each other.
No, we don't. We got it.
Okay.
This is the most asked for segment return of any segment that we have done.
We try to like keep it like we want to do it with like new people because you know we want to keep the podcast
fresh.
And family appropriate and whatnot.
Right.
So sometimes it's hard to come up with those stories, but Jordan said he had one. So
Yeah, I have one because I feel like it's important to keep the segment going, and even if
Yes.
it costs me part of my soul.
It's gonna be good.
good.
All right.
We need to get Cadbury eggs, and every time somebody gives us one, we give them
give them the Cadbury.
egg. Here we go.
Okay. So to start the story off, I can't remember my age. I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade. I was in school. I was a very competitive kid. And I was the kind of student that the only good grade I got was in PE. I hated school.
I would not have thought that. I thought you would have been good at school.
I sucked at school, dude. Like, if I was making a C- in any class, I was succeeding.
You're a smart guy. I would have thought. I would not have thought that's the case.
No, I hated school so much. So
Fooled me.
So when we got to so every day the thing I enjoyed was PE. And I remember
Boys' locker room.
no. This was the days when like you would be in jeans and a t-shirt and they would have you like run around the gym for an hour.
All right, now pick up the parachute.
Yeah.
Lift it up. Yeah. Bring it down. Now run into the center of the parachute and run.
Those were the best
best
days.
PE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't at me. So there was one day where we played dodgeball, something that's unheard of nowadays. But we
The
were playing
kids
dodgeball.
today will never learn the experience of getting burned by one of those rubber balls.
Those
the
red rubber balls.
Red textured rubber
Man,
balls sting crazy, right?
You respected those balls. So
Respect my balls.
Someone's clipping that.
I don't care.
Like by someone, Justin and Connor.
Niles is so excited right now.
So we were playing dodgeball, and I wasn't a popular kid. I hung out with the losers and everything, but there was one kid that nobody liked. His name was Christopher. He was loud.
Chris.
He was loud.
Chris's are the worst.
Obnoxious.
Sounds right, yes.
Yeah.
Just
Go on.
Just like
They
the
also
worst
have
guy.
podcasts. Yeah.
Love you, Chris from FOMOcast.
Connor McLeod loving.
So I was playing dodgeball, and there was something that annoyed me about Chris. It was because he was loud and obnoxious and whatever, but also he started wearing hats to school, and it was okay for him to wear a hat. And I'm like, what? Why? This
Was
makes
it against
no
the rules?
sense.
But it was
you
okay
could
for
not
him.
wear hats to school.
Nobody could wear a hat
I remember
except
that.
him. And so I got.
Is it possible that you
No.
were too young to understand
I
that Chris
have
was
cancer.
autistic?
No, he might have been.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm saying.
know.
I'm dead serious. Like,
But listen to the story.
okay, sorry.
So
I have questions.
So we're playing dodgeball, and I was very athletic, and I was getting kids out left and right. I see Chris, and I hit him with a ball.
Yes, as one does.
As we played, the PE coach would yell for a person to get out of the game. I hit Chris. The coach didn't call him out.
Oh God, this kid has cancer, doesn't he?
And so I was like, okay, that's weird. Keep playing. I throw another dodgeball at Chris and doesn't get called out. What happened next was we were getting to the end of the game. Wasn't a ton of people left. Chris was still on that side. I'm in mid-throw. That's when the coach blew her whistle to stop. I let go of the ball, and I hit Chris square in the face.
Good.
And caused him
Your hate has made you powerful.
it caused him to start crying and then get sent to the nurse's office.
What a little baby.
Bring back dodgeball.
That's not
The best.
That's not the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part was that nobody told me that Chris had just gone through chemotherapy.
God nailed it.
Why is Jordan picking on?
This is the best story ever.
Why is Jordan picking on the sick kid?
I didn't know. I was at an age where I knew what the word cancer was.
This is literally the most Justin thing that would have happened to me ever.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, one of two things. This poor kid is autistic and Jordan is too young to understand. Or this kid is
my
sick.
God.
Or his dad is the principal or something.
So-
Jordan is beating up cancer kids.
So I didn't understand because he also had 2 weeks off of school.
You realize we have to donate to some sort of
Yes.
cancer charity now.
No.
Like
So-
this goddamn kid took off for 2 weeks and then gets to wear hats. You're
Yeah,
going down.
exactly. Oh my God. So
I'm dying.
so I didn't understand at that age what cancer was.
When did they
I knew
tell
the
you?
words. It took probably it was the end of the day. One of my friends pulled me aside. He was like, dude, you know Chris had cancer. I'm like, yeah, so what? Like, I didn't know
Like,
what
You're
it
like,
was.
it's the same as chickenpox. Like, so what? Like,
And he was like, no. Dude nearly died. Had to have treatment. That's why he's bald now and has to wear a hat.
Oh man, dude.
Oh my God.
my eyes are watering.
It's this one and Niles' blood horse
Oh
story.
my God. That story. Oh. So yeah, I made a kid with cancer
Yes.
cry by hitting him in the face with a
Burned him in the
dodgeball.
face with a dodgeball.
Luckily, he grew up and has his own podcast now.
I hope that like he tells this story from his point of view.
He got bullied by some kid
Like,
that was
there was this
athletic.
freaking dumb kid in school who couldn't pass any grades.
He didn't even know how to spell cancer.
Stupid bully. Big dumb bully threw a ball in my face.
Plot twist: Dodgeball was based on Jordan's real life events.
Chris, if you're out there, I'm really, really sorry, Christopher.
What's his last name? I want to look him up on Facebook.
Tell me you have an elementary school yearbook and you can show
I
us
do
a picture
not.
of him.
I do not. But
Oh, dang it.
if I'll make this claim, if I can find it online somewhere, I will share it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
I will share it.
Dude, that's $1 million idea. Starting a company like digitizing school yearbooks. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Wasn't
Ooh,
that,
I have elementary school.
I need to
yearbooks.
email that to myself. So
wasn't
I
that
can
an ad on
copyright it.
Facebook for like the past 10 years?
Yeah, like sending in your black and white pictures and they colorize them and all that stuff.
No, I
Man,
want to start that business.
that was a good that was a good one.
Digitizing yearbooks.
Man, we gotta get some more. We need to have people send some clips of their embarrassing stories, and then we can play them at the end. Like,
We're in the off season, so you could use the fulcrum.
yeah, that's
for
what
that.
we should do.
Yeah.
yeah, we should have people send
Call
some
in
stuff
with an
in.
embarrassing story, and that way, even if they're not here, we can play one.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a little. This is going to be a Patreon. Well, might be a Patreon exclusive. I'm going to mix our first year of embarrassing stories together into a full episode.
dude.
Love
That yeah,
Full
that,
send.
Oh man,
Just a full
So many
episode
good
of
ones.
embarrassing stories.
there's some good
Connor,
ones.
you still owe us a good one.
Yeah, dumb burrito, piece of crap, embarrassing story.
Did I? Okay, wait. Have I told you the FCAT rights one? Did I say that on the podcast
No.
already?
No.
This is very short, and this.
You gotta save it. Save that.
Do I
for
have to
next-
save it?
Save it for next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tune in next
so
week.
I haven't told
Yeah.
you that one.
No.
Okay. Well, you know me in reading and writing, so
Yeah. So save
it's
it.
very
No-
short, but it still bothers me to this day.
No spoilers.
Okay.
Let-
All right.
Well, that's our. We got teased for next week. We have an embarrassing story by the one and only. It's your boy.
It's your boy. It's Konkon. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this week at Konkon's Cantina. Not the most chalked information episode, we know, but we didn't want to leave you hanging. Didn't want to take this week off. Wanted to come out with some stuff. We are going to be doing our Mandalorian 2-season recap, which is going to be very, very awesome. And then, obviously, in the episode before, we talked about all the stuff that was coming up. I was your boy. It's Konkon. Sitting across from me, the man himself, Justin,
Christopher Cancerface.
Christopher Cancer, and Jordan.
The casual kid.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Later.